Italian motorcycles are famous for passion, performance, and, fair or not, a sketchy reputation for reliability. But some models flip the script completely. Today we're counting down 13 Italian bikes that go toe-to-toe with Japan's best, on the road and in the garage. And trust me, the one at the top, it's the last bike you'd ever expect. Number 13, Cagiva Grand Canyon 900. This is one of those Italian bikes that flies under the radar until you ride one. Because once that happens, you don't forget it. At the heart of the Grand Canyon beats a 904 cubic centimeter, air-cooled Ducati V-twin. It makes a solid 73 horsepower and a healthy 57 pound-feet of torque, giving you smooth, responsive pull across the rev range. The 6-speed gearbox and fuel injection add to its crisp, modern feel. Now, despite weighing around 480 pounds dry, this machine handles far better than you'd expect. Thanks to Marzocchi suspension, a sturdy Italian frame, and an upright riding posture that just feels right, it's built to do it all. Stable on highways, agile in traffic, and confident when the pavement ends. With a 5.3-gallon tank and a real-world range north of 200 miles, it's no gas guzzler either. But here's where it pulls away from the pack. Character. Unlike most Japanese adventure bikes, this one has an aggressive personality and a Ducati soul that feels raw, emotional, and alive. And the best part? Used Grand Canyons are still selling for around $2,000 to $2,400 US. That's an outrageous deal for a bike this bold. If that raw Ducati pulse wrapped in Cagiva grit lit a fire for you, but you're craving something cleaner, calmer, and built with the touring rider in mind, then Italy still has a surprise, just from a name you probably weren't expecting. The number 12, Benelli TRK 502. The Benelli TRK 502 has quietly become one of the most unexpected adventure bikes on the market. And no, it's not just good for an Italian. It's genuinely impressive, even stacked against the Japanese heavy hitters. At the heart of this machine is a 500 cubic centimeter, liquid-cooled parallel twin that cranks out 47 horsepower and 34 pound-feet of torque. It's not built to win drag races, but that's not the point. What it delivers is smooth, usable power and a user-friendly 6-speed gearbox that makes highway cruising surprisingly effortless. For 2025, Benelli pulled out the stops. A 5-inch TFT screen with Bluetooth and turn-by-turn navigation, heated grips and seat, and even a tire pressure monitoring system. All standard, these are features you usually see on bikes twice the price. The comfort? Legit. You get a roomy, upright riding position, a tall windscreen, and a 5.3-gallon tank. Perfect for long-distance rides, whether you choose the road-ready TRK 502 or the more rugged 502X, you're getting serious bang for your buck. With prices starting around $6,399, it undercuts most Japanese rivals while offering gear they skip entirely. Add in its big bike look and sharp Italian design, and this Benelli doesn't just compete, it surprises. If the Benelli checks every practical box, but leaves you wanting more edge, more fire, and less compromise, there's another route. It's sleeker, quicker, and carries that unmistakable Ducati DNA, just hidden beneath sport touring bodywork. Number 11, Ducati ST3. The Ducati ST3 might just be one of the most underrated sport tours ever built. It's got that unmistakable Italian styling, serious long-distance comfort, and real muscle under the tank. Enough to hold its own against Japan's most trusted mile leaders. At its core sits a 992 cubic centimeter L-twin engine with Ducati's signature 3-valve desmodromic system. It pushes out 107 horsepower and 72 pound-feet of torque, delivering a punchy mid-range and plenty of top end for slicing through traffic, carving canyons, or devouring interstates. You get a slick-shifting 6-speed gearbox, a no-nonsense chain final drive, and a chassis designed for riders who know what feedback should feel like. The rigid steel trellis frame is paired with fully adjustable 1.7-inch Showa forks and a high-spec rear shock. Sachs or Uhlans depending on trim, and up front, twin 12.6-inch Brembos that bite hard without drama. But this isn't just a backroad rocket. With adjustable bars, a relaxed riding triangle, and a 5.5-gallon tank, the ST3 is built for full days in the saddle. Clean examples still go for around $5,500, to $7,500, which makes it one of the best-kept secrets in the sport touring class. Sure, bikes like the Honda VFR or Yamaha FJR are bulletproof, but the ST3 adds something they don't, that signature Ducati rhythm. Raw, exclusive, and undeniably Italian. But maybe you don't need full fairings, luggage racks, or cross-country ambitions. Maybe what you're after is something leaner, meaner, and unapologetically raw. Ducati had that base covered too, and what came next completely rewrote the rules for naked motorcycles. Number 10. Ducati Monster 620 and 695. This proved that Italian engineering could deliver serious thrills without a premium price tag, often compared to Japanese favorites like the Suzuki SV650 or Yamaha FZ6. These monsters brought something their rivals just couldn't. Raw character, unmistakable styling, and that exclusive Ducati energy. The 620, built from 2001 to 2006, came with a 618 cubic centimeter air-cooled L-twin that made around 60 horsepower, smooth, fuel-injected, and full of torque. It was approachable for beginners, but never dull for seasoned riders. With its trellis frame and iconic exhaust note, every ride felt connected, expressive, and unmistakably Italian. Then came the 695 in 2006, a sharper, lighter, and more aggressive follow-up. Power jumped to 73 horses, brakes were upgraded, and the handling felt dialed in. The V-twin delivered punchy mid-range performance with a visceral, analog riding feel that Japanese bikes struggled to match. Sure, these monsters asked for more regular maintenance, but owners who stayed on top of it found them rock solid and rewarding. In 2025, clean examples still command between $4,000 and $8,000, while newer monsters demand even more. If you're chasing more soul than specs, these bikes still hit the mark. The Monster was all stripped-down muscle, loud, honest, and unfiltered. But if you've ever wondered what that same Italian passion would look like in a tailored suit, humming with tech and tuned for distance, MV Augusta didn't just answer, they reimagined the entire equation. Number 9, MV Augusta Turismo Veloce 800. This is a bike that sneaks up on you. It's Italian, it's exotic, and yes, it absolutely holds its own against the best Japanese sport tours. At its heart is a 798 cubic centimeter triple that cranks out just over 110 horsepower and 59 pound-feet of torque. The result? Lightning-fast throttle response, a punchy mid-range, and a snarling exhaust note that sounds like opera at full tilt. But this machine isn't just built for thrill seekers. MV Augusta packed it with premium tech. Cornering ABS, traction control, ride modes, a quick shifter, and even semi-active suspension. Higher trims come with all the toys baked in. Comfort, covered. With cruise control, an adjustable windscreen, and ergonomic seating, the Turismo Veloce is perfectly tuned for long-distance comfort without dulling the ride. Stack it up against rivals like the Yamaha Tracer 9 or the Kawasaki Versys 1000. And the MV doesn't just keep up, it dazzles. It's more stylish, more emotional, and far more exclusive. Brand new, you're looking at prices between $17,400 and $28,300 depending on trim. But the real deal, lightly used examples often drop below $10,000, putting that hand-built Italian flair well within reach. For riders who want a touring machine that feels alive and looks like rolling sculpture, the Turismo Veloce 800 is a rare breed. It's easy to get lost in the MV's elegance. The paint, the curves, the tech working quietly beneath you. But peel away the polish, and there's a different kind of Italian machine waiting. One that doesn't care how far you're going, only how hard you hit every corner on the way. This one doesn't ride with grace, it comes out swinging. Number 8, Arillia Tuono 660 Factory. This proves that middleweight doesn't mean middle of the road. This Italian-built naked sport bike blends aggressive performance with real-world usability, offering an unexpected level of sophistication and advanced tech in its class. It's powered by a 659 cubic centimeter parallel twin, tuned with a 270-degree crank for that throaty V-twin-like rumble. Output clocks in at 105 horsepower, and with a wet weight just shy of 400 pounds, the Tuono offers one of the strongest power-to-weight ratios in the segment. Built on an aluminum frame pulled from Aprillia's racing playbook, The bike is equipped with fully adjustable Oakland suspension and top-tier Brembo brakes. It's not just fast, it's razor-sharp and confidence-inspiring. Stack it up against rivals like the Yamaha MT-07 or Honda CB650R, and the Aprilia holds a clear edge in chassis precision and premium hardware. But where it really pulls ahead is the electronic suite. Ride-by-wire throttle, multiple traction control settings, cornering ABS, engine braking adjustability, wheelie control, and a bi-directional quick shifter, all controlled through a crisp 5-inch TFT screen. New, it'll set you back around $11,500, but savvy buyers can score well-kept used examples for closer to $8,000. For riders craving sharp reflexes, high-end tech, and undeniable European style, the Tuono 660 factory is a standout. The Tuono comes alive in the twisties, compact, alert, and wired tight. But not every ride needs a short fuse. Some bikes are built for the open horizon, where endurance matters more than adrenaline. Ducati knew that too, and their answer didn't tone things down. It just stretched them out. Number 7. Ducati Multistrada 950, also known as the V2. This Ducati, recently rebranded as the Multistrada 52 for 2025, is the kind of Italian machine that doesn't just perform, it elevates the entire experience. With a rare mix of real-world comfort, thrilling power, and rider-focused technology, this bike quietly outclasses much of its Japanese competition. Its beating heart is an 890 cubic centimeter Phi twin, producing 115 horsepower and roughly 68 pound-feet of torque. What sets it apart is how early that power comes alive, right around 3,000 RPM, giving you smooth, usable grunt, whether you're navigating tight city streets or stretching out on the highway. Compared to earlier models, Ducati shed nearly 39 pounds, making the V2 lighter, quicker on its feet, and surprisingly easy to manage for a bike this capable. Wide handlebars, balanced geometry, and a lower seat height all add to its friendly, confident feel. Step up to this version and you get Ducati's semi-active skyhook suspension, offering a buttery ride that adapts in real time. Add a full-color TFT dash, a bi-directional quick shifter, full LED lighting, and multiple riding modes, and you've got a tech-loaded package that few in its class can rival. Service intervals stretch to 18,000 miles, and the ride feel is pure Ducati. Refined, expressive, and full of character. And here's the wild part. Brand new, the 2025 Multistrada 5.2 rolls out with a starting price of just under $16,000. Want the fully loaded S trim? That'll climb to just over $19,000. Meanwhile, if you're shopping used, clean examples from 2020 through 2023 usually land between $12.5 and $15.5 grand, depending on wear, service history, and how hard the previous rider twisted the throttle. For anyone seeking a truly versatile dual-sport tourer with soul, this one checks nearly every box. But maybe that's not your lane. Maybe you're chasing something that feels tighter, lighter, and built to push harder in every curve. If you're still drawn to Italian engineering, but want it stripped of touring polish and injected with pure edge, the next bike doesn't just answer that craving, it challenges everything around it to keep up. Number 6. Arillia RS660. The Arillia RS660 isn't just another middleweight, it's a scalpel with headlights. Born from Aprilia's racing DNA, it blends cutting-edge electronics, aggressive styling, and a chassis so sharp it practically begs for corners. Powering it all is a 659 cubic centimeter parallel twin that delivers 105 horsepower and 49 pound-feet of torque. That's more than enough to dominate its segment, especially when paired with a wet weight of just 403 pounds. The result? A class-leading power-to-weight ratio that doesn't just match the Yamaha R7 or Kawasaki Ninja 650, it often leaves them behind. But what really sets this Italian apart is the tech. A 6-axis IMU feeds lean-sensitive ABS, traction control, adjustable engine braking, wheelie control, and a bi-directional quick shifter with auto blip. For 2025, Aprilia added launch control, cruise control, and an upgraded TFT display, features you rarely see on bikes in this price range. And this machine isn't just built for the brochure. It took the win in the 2024 Moto America Twins Cup Championship, proving its track chops against the best in the country. With bold styling, top-tier build quality, and race-proven performance, the RS660 doesn't just compete, it resets the bar for middleweight sport bikes. And while it may look like a full-on superbike, it's surprisingly manageable and comfortable for everyday riders. Brand new models start around $12,000 with clean used examples dropping closer to $8,500. For riders craving precision, agility, and modern Italian muscle, at a price that undercuts slower, less equipped rivals, the RS660 is a revelation. But not every rider wants to live at redline. If you're after something that still pulls hard, but lets you breathe between corners, the next one brings that balance. It's more relaxed, more forgiving, but still delivers when you ask. Number 5. Ducati Hypermoed 950 SP. The Ducati Hypermoed 950 SP is not here to be practical. It's here to cause chaos, the good kind. This is the motorcycle equivalent of a street-legal supermoto grenade, built for riders who think most bikes play it way too safe. At its core, a 937 cubic centimeter Testostrada L twin engine, cranking out 114 horsepower and 71 pound-feet of torque. That's more than enough to lift the front wheel without asking for permission, and yet it's all wrapped in the sharpest electronics Ducati has outside of its superbike range. You get Ducati wheelie control, lean-sensitive ABS, ride modes, and a quick shifter, all controlled through a full-color TFT that makes some rivals look prehistoric. The suspension is no joke either. Fully adjustable O-lins front and rear, with travel that gives this thing genuine hooligan DNA. Weighing just 441 pounds dry, the Hypermoed feels alive beneath you. It's light, flickable, and makes city riding feel like a supermoto race staged on your morning commute. And the styling? It's pure Ducati madness. High mount twin exhausts, angular bodywork, and that aggressive front end that looks like it's ready to headbutt traffic. The Hypermoed 950 SP isn't for everyone, and that's exactly the point. If you're chasing chaos wrapped in Italian engineering, this wild child starts at just under $20,000 fresh from the showroom. But here's where it flips the throttle. Used SPs from 2020 to 2023 are landing serious deals. A low-mile 2020 might go for around $12,300. Step up to a clean 2021, and you're in the ballpark of $13,400. And those sharp late-year models? Expect something closer to $15,750. The Ducati Hypermoed 950 SP is pure unfiltered madness, a wild child that refuses to play by anyone's rules. It's the kind of bike that grabs your attention and won't let go, but it's not made for every rider or every ride. Now imagine if you could keep that Italian flair, that sharp edge and emotional punch, but in a machine that's smarter, more versatile, and built to dominate both twisty roads and longer journeys without wearing you out. That's where our next contender steps in, proving you don't have to sacrifice soul to gain control. Stick around, because this one takes everything the Hypermoed brings and refines it into something truly exceptional. Number 4. MV Augusta Straddale 800. This might be the most versatile Italian motorcycle you've never seriously considered, and yet it holds its own against the best machines out of Japan. Powered by a 798 cubic centimeter inline 3, it produces 115 horsepower at 11,000 RPM, along with 58 pound-feet of torque. But the real story here isn't just about power. Thanks to its counter-rotating crankshaft, a clever bit of tech borrowed straight from MotoGP, this bike changes direction with pinpoint precision. Paired with a lightweight chassis and a top speed north of 130 miles per hour, the Straddale 800 delivers handling that's just as sharp in the corners as it is composed on the highway. Where Italian bikes once lagged in the tech department, this one flips the script. You get ride-by-wire throttle, a quick shifter with auto blipper, and MV Augusta's MVIX electronics suite with multiple ride modes. And despite all that engineering flair, it still manages to be surprisingly practical. An upright riding position, integrated panniers, an adjustable windscreen, and space for a passenger make it perfectly suited for both weekday commuting and longer weekend rides. Used examples today typically run between $7,000 and $10,000, offering real value for something this refined and, yes, this rare. If you want exotic design, high-performance roots, and genuine day-to-day comfort, the Straddale 800 delivers a blend that's hard to match. It walks a fine line between aggressive and approachable, sharp enough for canyon runs, yet civilized enough to handle your daily grind. But maybe that's not the line you're after. Maybe you want something that doesn't just carve asphalt, but conquers the unbeaten path. Because not every rider wants to hug the pavement. Some want to disappear into the dust, and that's exactly where we're headed next. This next machine trades racetracks for riverbeds, and it brings plenty of Italian firepower with it. Number 3, Aprilia Touareg 660. This Aprilia is redefining what a middleweight adventure bike can be, and it's a serious contender against anything out of Japan. At the heart of the machine is a 659 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine, tuned specifically for off-road riding and based on Aprilia's RS660 sport platform. It puts out 80 horsepower and roughly 51 pound-feet of torque, delivering smooth, usable power across the entire rev range. But performance is only part of the picture. The Touareg is lighter than many of its Japanese competitors, weighing in at just 449 pounds wet. That means real-world agility and control, whether you're carving up gravel or cruising back roads. Off the pavement, this bike is fully in its element. It comes equipped with long travel kib suspension, a 21-inch front wheel, an 18-inch rear, and 9.5 inches of suspension travel, all of which make it more than ready for serious trail work. Still, it's just as confident on the road. With a planted ride, sharp steering, and a smooth chassis feel, it stays composed even at speed. Technology is another highlight. You get 4 ride modes, switchable ABS, traction control, engine braking adjustment, and a crisp, full-color TFT display, features you rarely see in this price range. Owners love its reliability, the solid build quality, and how little maintenance it demands. Used Aprilia usually land around $9,000, while a brand new model will run you about $13,000, a solid value for a premium-level adventure machine. For riders who want capability, comfort, and modern tech without giving up character, the Touareg 660 hits the mark. It's built for the long haul, wired for exploration, and delivers adventure with unmistakable Italian personality. But not every ride demands that kind of intensity. Sometimes you just want to slow the world down, strip it back, and savor every mile. That's where this next Italian classic comes in. A bike that's all soul, no fuss, and built for the pure joy of riding. Number 2, Moto Guzzi 573 Stone. This Moto Guzzi 5 proves you don't need big horsepower to leave a lasting impression. With unmistakable Italian styling and timeless charm, this retro-inspired twin goes head-to-head with Japanese rivals and often wins on character alone. At the heart of the V7 is a 744 cubic centimeter air-cooled transverse V-twin, producing 52 horsepower and about 44 pound-feet of torque. It's not a bike chasing top speed, and that's exactly the appeal. This machine is all about feel. From its torque-rich delivery to the distinctive engine rumble, every ride is smooth, soulful, and loaded with personality. Thanks to its shaft drive, lightweight chassis, and upright ergonomics, the V7 3-Stone is effortless around town and surprisingly comfortable on longer rides. It's an excellent choice for newer riders or anyone who values laid-back, classic cruising without sacrificing practicality. Despite its old-school vibe, it doesn't miss the mark on modern features. Anti-lock brakes, traction control, and a digital dash all come standard, delivering real safety and tech in a package that still feels delightfully analog. Used models typically range from $5,800 to just over $10,000, offering excellent value for a motorcycle with this much heritage. Stylish, approachable, and full of character, the V7 3-Stone is built to turn heads, and it does so without trying too hard or draining your wallet. This is a bike that carries tradition without feeling stuck in the past. But when your journey demands more than city streets and country roads, when adventure calls with a louder, wilder voice, you need a bike that doesn't just honor tradition, but pushes its limits. And the V85 TT is exactly that. Italian heritage turned bold and uncontainable. This is where Italian design meets raw power and off-road ambition. Revving into the #1 spot with unstoppable style and power, the Moto Guzzi 585 TT takes the crown. A rugged, uniquely Italian adventure bike that's more capable than you might expect and more competitive than most would guess. It's powered by an 850 cubic centimeter air-cooled V-twin, putting down 80 horsepower and about 61 pound-feet of torque. With strong mid-range pull and a smooth power band, The V85 TT handles mountain passes, back roads, and highway cruising with complete confidence. It'll go from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just over 5 seconds. But numbers only tell part of the story. What really sets it apart is its blend of classic style and serious long-distance functionality. A 6.1-gallon fuel tank offers up to 250 miles of real-world range. Add in upright ergonomics, adjustable suspension, and you've got a machine built for big days in the saddle. Opt for the travel trim, and you'll get factory-fitted panniers, a taller windscreen, heated grips, and a heated seat. Everything you need to head out on a proper tour right out of the box. Technology-wise, the V85 TT punches well above its weight. It features a 6-axis EMU, cornering ABS, traction control, cruise control, full LED lighting, multiple ride modes, and smartphone connectivity. And unlike many in its class, it comes with a low-maintenance shaft drive. Pricing starts at $10,999 in the United States, making it competitively priced and surprisingly affordable to live with. Owners consistently praise its reliability, everyday comfort, and distinctive design. If you're looking for an adventure bike that offers soul, substance, and unmistakable Italian flair, the V85 TT checks every box. It's bold, it's different, and it's built for the long haul. That wraps up our ride through Italy's finest. But the journey doesn't end here. Tap the video on screen, hit subscribe, and keep the throttle open. Because with this crew, the road is always calling.